All right. Let's do it.
Go ahead.
Welcome.
Sorry.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Warp, the completely unnecessary Star Trek podcast where we do unasked for audio commentaries of Star Trek episodes. My name is Sean.
My name is Matt.
Erin.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Got a crew of 3 today.
Yep.
The three best ones.
Come on, it's the only 3 you need. Don't know what happened to Min. He was a late scratch. And, at the moment, May and Jake's apartment is burning down. So we're going to try without him. And we are watching today.
May and Jacob don't. Just kidding.
We're watching Star Trek The Next Generation Season 2, Episode 15, Pin Pals. And I've got 45 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock, and I'm punching the triangle in 3, 2, 1, punch.
So can I start this out by saying I was 20% concerned with Picard's interest in horses?
Oh.
How so?
He's a little bit into it more than I was expecting.
Okay.
He is very into horses, especially in this episode.
He is hot for horses in this episode.
Yeah.
Pretty sure this is one of his hobbies that will never be mentioned ever again.
Okay.
I think this may be the one and only time.
20% uncomfortable.
Just because he was too enthusiastic?
So it's been a while since you've seen it?
I didn't watch this before.
Okay.
So I don't remember.
Here he comes.
Oh, look at him wearing his jodhpurs or whatever.
It's like future jodhpurs.
Looks good. Just, I guess if you see, I don't know if it's going to come across in the subtitles, but yeah. He's like, I don't like small animals, but horses. Yeah,
that's nice that they remembered that, because remember we saw that episode where he admitted he had never had a puppy.
Never played with puppies.
And I was so depressed when I saw that. It was like, have you seen a puppy? It was not just like had a puppy. It was sort of like, have you ever
played with puppies?
Never played with a puppy.
No, and I'm like, dear God.
But see, now he's just said, I don't really like small animals, but I like big old horses. Well, he likes dogs.
Yes, he eventually gets a dog.
Anyway, it's partly elegant, partly creepy. That's all I'm going to say.
It is a beautiful horse that the holodeck has created for him.
Yes.
It's very aristocratic, right? And yes. Picard is kind of a very aristocratic kind of.
He makes a big deal about making sure that it's an English tack, not a Western tack.
Yeah, he's a bit of a fuss.
He's kind of a Fauntleroy in that way.
He's a little bit Lord. He's a little Lord Fauntleroy sometimes.
Yeah, and it was just like, okay, I like you, Picard, so I'm not going to go there, but it's a little bit off.
I don't think he wants to fuck the horse. If that's what you were, trying to.
That seemed like that's where she was going with it.
Almost goes there though. It's not.
I didn't want to say anything.
Since you never knew were empty. I mean, it gets. He talks about this love of horse going deeper than, like, I don't know. It's got some words that made me uncomfortable.
Is this whole conversation they're just talking about pets? Deanna's talking about a cat she used to have or something?
Yeah, she had a Betazoid cat. I didn't know that was a thing.
Get along with the mom.
Oh, you know what? We do see him ride a horse again in Generations.
Oh,
does he? I can't, because I know.
Yeah, remember they ride together to go fight the bad.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I know
Shatner 7 years, I can be uncomfortable again.
Yep.
Yeah. Shatner has a horse ranch. I mean, he's way into horse.
Yeah, he knows his way around horses. Although he does not know how to make a horse sound, as we learned in that one episode.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I blocked that out.
Who are we talking about?
Shatner.
Oh.
The OG captain.
So Picard's just about to enjoy himself, and they're like, you got to come back to work.
That was kind of funny.
Picard never gets to have any fun.
No.
The life of a starship captain is hard. It's a lot of work, and you don't really.
But here's the thing I don't
take
understand.
time off.
That's a holodeck program, right?
Yeah.
Why does he tie the horse back up after he leaves?
Oh, force of habit.
Wouldn't just the program do that for him?
Yeah, but you want to pretend like it's real in the holodeck.
I guess so.
But I thought it was funny that he changed back into his uniform. It was kind of urgent, but he had to like get back in his jumpsuit.
Yeah, every once in a while they'll do one where they're on the holodeck and they get summoned to the bridge right away, and they'll still be wearing whatever they were wearing on the holodeck. It doesn't happen very often. Usually they change into their work clothes, but every once in a while you see them in their holodeck outfits on the bridge. Right. It's always pretty funny.
We are watching season 2, episode 15, Pen Pals. Original air date April 29th, 1989. Data befriends an alien girl in distress, breaking the directive while Wesley commands his first team.
Sean, your microphone does not sound quite right. You sound a little tinny.
Okay.
Is it just me that's hearing it? You sound a little like you're not.
I can't hear myself in my speakers right now.
A little nasally, but
no, I think it sounds like maybe you're not plugged in right, or you're not close enough or something. I don't know.
Well, I'll see if I can fix it. I don't know.
Anyway.
Erin, you watched the episode?
I did.
You were uncomfortable with the Picard horseplay, but other than that, how did you find the episode?
Like, what is happening? Well, this one's okay.
What's the IMDb? What's your IMDb number, Erin?
I will say a 6.
I'm gonna say that this is the one where Data befriends the little alien kid.
Yes.
Is that what this one is?
Yep.
I think that's probably kind of charming, so I'm gonna say 6, 8.
6, 8 on the nose.
Nice.
Yeah. So, do you think if he knew what the alien girl looked like, that he would be more or less inclined to save her?
I think Data doesn't really have that opinion.
You are on some hot takes today, lady. You're like, you know what?
I saw the screenshot.
I don't want to speak out of
like hid Data with that. I was like a baby werewolf, and I was like, "What's gonna happen in this episode?" Good times.
Like, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think Picard fucks horses, and that little girl is ugly.
And I think Data's being catfished. Good times.
The most interesting thing to me, anyways, is the little girl is played by Nikki Cox. Does anybody ring a bell to anybody?
No, who's Nikki Cox?
Well, she's an actress. She was a big in the 90s as sort of a hot redhead.
Was she a child when this was filmed? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, she was like 9, 10 when this was made.
Got it.
So
according
then she
to
goes,
Wikipedia,
she's married to Jay Moore now, as far as I know. They were married. I don't know if they still are.
Okay. The name's familiar, but I'd have to see a picture.
All of the shows that they are listing as shows that she was on are shows I did not watch, which is why I don't recognize her. Unhappily Ever After.
That's the one I know her from. I used to watch that show. That was, what if the Bundys were divorced, but the owl lived in the basement and talked to a plush rabbit that was voiced by Bobcat Goldthwait.
Okay, I don't think we need to.
What is this program called?
Unhappily Ever After.
Oh.
She played.
Look at Wesley. Yeah. He's so proud that he got.
Yeah.
He's getting
the command.
Actually, has some interesting themes about like how to take command of a project. Sure. I thought it was actually very useful.
I mean, he's still only like 16, like in the world of the show.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And they're
the big
already
thing of
like-
this episode is.
And they're already like, you get to be in charge of a whole group of adults. And
Yeah, exactly. That's
Well, and
his whole thing.
Pulaski was hesitant, not because she didn't want him to grow, but just was like, keep in mind he's 16 or whatever.
Now, what is it that they're supposed to be doing? It's obviously not a dangerous project. They wouldn't let
So,
Analyze some minerals, right?
right. From the planet that's being destroyed.
Oh
that
yeah, because they want
people that
destroy
yeah, the whole reason why Data gets involved is because there's people that are living on this planet
Yeah.
that's about to be destroyed. And
Yeah.
Picard just had a look on his face when Wesley left. He had this look on his face of like, I really don't like that kid very much.
so give him a command. That'll keep him out of my hair for a few days.
Yeah, this is all just a way for Picard to get Wesley out of his way for a while.
He won't be on the bridge
planet.
so much.
But here's how this is the setup for how he's going to hear from his internet boo.
Yes.
This is a Wesley saves the day kind of an
I
episode.
was going to ask.
There is, yeah. I mean, because they figure out a way to stop the planet from blowing up. I think.
But it's only because Wesley takes charge and right.
Yes.
He asked
So-
for a test. The other guy's like, it's going to be too much work.
They've done this exact episode. Why is there shit all over the floor?
That's what Worf's saying. He's like, good. Ugh. And then look at the look on Data's face. That to me was the first like real sign that he's like catching some human vibes. Where he's
every
like, my
once in a
coworker's
while.
upset right now.
So Riker and Troy are off to go bone, it looks like.
Uh-huh.
Because I can't figure out what else they were doing walking together right now.
They're friends.
Well,
But they walk off.
they're going somewhere.
I
They got
know.
a purpose.
I know. Look how when he leaves, watch how they go off together. It'll take a second.
Uh-huh. So this is Wesley just being like,
Sort of
I don't know.
blocking at the moment. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, how do I deal? They're older than me. What do I do? And
Riker's just thinking, how do I get this kid to fucking go away?
Yep.
Like, what do I
You're
say?
good.
This.
Wait,
Look, she goes over there.
yeah, let's go.
Yep.
I'll leave it now. Bye.
I totally picked up on that too. I want them to be together. I think they're a hot couple.
Well, spoiler alert.
Gotta allow the wait. Never gonna get
It's gonna happen.
In 7
It
years,
will happen.
it'll come to fruition.
There will come a time that may blow your mind when it happens, but we'll see at that point.
Oh man.
She's gonna date someone else from the main cast before she dates Riker.
Oh
again.
my god. Is
You wanna
it
guess who you think it is?
Is it Worf?
It's Worf. Yeah,
It is Worf.
they have a whole little thing for
Hell yeah.
a season or two where they're dating, and Riker's all jealous and has to like learn to get over it.
Oh my god, I cannot wait.
So anyway, I'm marking this down as a Wesley saves the ship episode.
I would
I think,
say
yeah,
that's correct.
I agree.
Yeah, he does his thing. And
And
he
I was
learns
going to be,
leadership skills.
generous with the scoring on that game. So we're
Have
calling
you
that one.
have any of you had to supervise someone significantly older than you?
Yeah, I used to have a guy who worked for me who was probably in his 60s.
Yeah.
But he was he was a sweetheart. He was just nice. Just wanted to do his job, and he never gave me any problems.
Yeah.
What about you? How about you?
Actually, it's kind of interesting. It was someone who initially like trained me, and then eventually I became his supervisor.
Uh-huh.
So
And were
it
they
could have been
cool?
awkward, but we were friends. So
Yeah.
So we figured it out.
They do this plot. They've done this plot before a couple of times. In fact, they did it once with Data in the first season, where Data was the people on the bridge didn't want to listen to Data because he was a robot, even though he was even though he was in charge. You remember that?
Right. Yeah.
And they did it once on the old show with Spock, where the people on the bridge didn't want to take Spock's orders because he was a dirty Vulcan. It was all a metaphor for, racism.
Yeah. But it's
this one is not even a metaphor for like racism. I guess it's a metaphor for ageism, maybe.
Yeah, confidence. How do you take command? Because there will be times where you will be, you may not be sort of a linear leader by any kind of like Picard. The Picard stand. What if you are young but you have the ability? How you gain the confidence to match your ability, if that makes sense. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. There's a whole like
how to be sure of your decisions, and sometimes it doesn't mean you won't be wrong sometimes, Yeah. I think it's Riker coaches him a little bit more later on.
There are a lot of books out there that are sort of self-help books, but Star Trek themed.
Yeah.
Like there are books that are like
Star Trek way to organizing businesses.
Captain Picard's management, handbook and shit. Like
books that are supposed to be like, now. I mean, there are some, themes within this like environment.
We've talked about it a lot, like how Picard is such the get everybody's input.
Yeah.
He asks everybody's opinion, but then he makes a decision and then that's it.
Yeah.
Picard's a good manager. He welcomes input.
Yeah. And I think, sorry, because I've seen episodes, so I forget where we are, but I think actually Wesley talks about that very thing later on.
Picard just makes decisions.
Is that the dick guy who doesn't want to do it?
Yes. That's the asshole that doesn't want to do the...
Yeah, which is like, I've definitely supervised people like that, where they're just like, especially if they're seasoned, they're like, oh, we've tried this before and it didn't work, so we never want to like do it. It's like,
but he's he doesn't outrank Wesley.
No, he doesn't. None of these people outrank him.
Yeah,
that's Scott's point. They're
all ensigns too.
They're just older than him. But what I do find interesting is that when Wesley finally decides, you know what, I need this test to be done, and he goes and he tells the guy, and the guy's just like, okay.
Yeah,
he has to put up a fight.
I think that's an important one too. It's not always like.
You know what this is? This is Doogie Howser. This is like young Sheldon, kind of, where it's like a genius who has to get along with people who are older than them.
Yeah, genius isn't enough. You have to figure out how to like.
Or like when you hear those stories in the news about some 12-year-old who's graduating from MIT or whatever, because they're just prodigies. Wesley's a prodigy. Look at how that is not Patrick Stewart riding that horse. There he is. That's him. But before that was somebody else.
They're like, you're too important to fall off this horse.
Right. Well, he knew how to ride a horse well enough to ride from point A to point B.
He got that little bit far enough, yeah.
I think Patrick Stewart is not like posh. Like he didn't come from like a rich background. So I kind of would doubt that he rode horses as a kid,
Yeah. I would agree.
I don't know how to ride a horse. Do you guys know how to ride horses?
Never done it in my life. Not even.
I've done it a few times. I was never very good at it.
I have been on a horse, and just been sort of like led around by somebody walking alongside, but I've never like tried to ride a horse by myself. You know what I mean? Unsupervised.
I think I'd be like Betazoid, and I would like pick up their vibes too much. She said that it's a problem for them to ride horses.
I think horses are like, they're so skittish and like easily like startled that I would just be I think nervous the whole time. Yeah. Like this fucking horse could do anything, and I am very high up. And Christopher Reeve, died essentially riding away. Well, he lived for a long time after that, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't like the idea of riding a horse. If I don't,
it's really painful. That's all I can remember. Yeah, because you're just bouncing up and down on the back of this fucking hard ass saddle, and it's just I didn't find it. It's like my sister was big into horseback riding when we were kids, and so like I was around people who had horses, and they let me ride it and tried to teach me, and I was just like, this is way more work than it is fun.
Yeah.
Why am I working this hard to not have any fun? So, but then
to ask.
Sometimes people work way too hard to do their fun things, I think.
I like watching horse racing. I like going to the track. That's fun.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I don't have to ride the horse in that situation. So
I enjoy watching like equestrian stuff, horse jumping and things like that. Very fun. No desire to do it myself.
No. We've been rewatching The Sopranos, and we just got to the season. We just got to the part in the season where Joey Pantoliano buys that horse. Ralph Cifaretto is his character name. He buys the horse that Tony falls in love with, and then the horse dies. And Tony's so pissed off about the horse dying. Tony doesn't care at all when people die, but he really gets upset when animals die, which is kind of a sociopath kind of thing, I think.
Oh, there he did.
He did the leg. Everybody.
Wesley does it too. We missed Wesley. Wesley does it before.
Of course he does, because he idolizes Riker, right? He must love Riker. He must want to be Riker.
I would be into Riker if I was Wesley. I'd just be like, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, because Picard's a little too much of a he's too stern,
Yeah. Although he's warming
Riker's
up.
Riker's like your cool uncle, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Which you really find cool when you're young. Like you just love.
He looks like he's got his shit together. He's totally an adult, but he's also still knows how to have fun.
Exactly.
And he gets the ladies. Riker's got a great, from a 15-year-old boy perspective. Will Riker has the perfect life, right?
Right.
Yeah, I had people like that in my life. Like I basically grew up on a college campus, so there were a lot of students coming through, and there was this one guy who was like, he could juggle, and he was into Pee Wee Herman like I was. And he was like my older brother. I was like so into that guy. We would just hang out.
I can't think of anybody like that. I have two uncles. I had one of my uncles has passed away, but I had two uncles, and one uncle we rarely saw, so I didn't have much of a relationship with him. And our other uncle that we did see, my dad's brother, was kind of a fuck up. He was kind of a mess, and so he wasn't the kind of guy you'd be like, I want to be like that guy when I get older. So I can't think of anybody like that in my life.
Well, I had older siblings too. That served that role as well. That when I saw them, it was like super exciting. And they went out, became adults, and I was still living at home, and then they'd come back, and it was like.
Sorry to change the subject real quick, but the cats like to chew on the artificial tree, right?
No.
Chew the little plastic, the little plastic fern, pine needles or whatever. And we have these squirt bottles that we have around the house that we use to squirt the cats when they're doing something they're not supposed to do, right? So I just looked over, saw the cat chewing on the tree, grabbed the water bottle and squeezed the water bottle so hard that I broke the water bottle. The trigger of the water bottle has come off, and the bottle is now in pieces.
Those cats are gonna go crazy tonight.
Oh no, there's like 10 more water bottles.
It's like the deck. It's like this Enterprise, just squirt bottles all over the place.
Yeah, oh boy, I've really got water spilled everywhere. Oh well.
Listeners, you're getting real life here, listeners.
Real life here.
Real insight into what is Matt.
The Christmas tree is going up today.
Nice.
Even though it's still 2 weeks till Thanksgiving.
But it's 2020, all right? If any year deserves early Christmas, it's this year.
But I told Stan, I said, you can do it whenever you want this year. All the rules are off.
Yeah. I got a tribble ornament. Erin, you'd love it.
Yeah.
I saw Captain America shield, I think, on that.
Yeah. We have some nerdy pop culture stuff, a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah. Stan wants a Mandalorian. I guess they have a Mandalorian ornament this year, and so
we have
that's got to get added to the tree.
we have a inflatable the child that's going to go in our front yard.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And Baby Yoda holding the candy cane.
Oh, that's funny.
Have you been watching this? Have you been watching this season, Matt?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm all caught up.
Little Baby Yoda is eating all the eggs.
Yeah, he loves them eggs. That baby likes to eat. That baby is always hungry.
Gross.
It's the hungriest baby I've ever seen. Anyway, what's happening on this episode? I haven't been.
We're trying to figure out what to do with these people because it's a Prime Directive issue. Pulaski's actually defending Data in this one.
Yeah.
So the planet's going to blow up or something?
Right.
The planet's going to blow up and they have to decide whether to rescue the people or not?
Basically, yes.
And the people are they're Prime Directive people?
Right. They've never met a people that had interstellar travel.
Yeah.
How does Data have this friend?
He was they were like sending out a "Can you help us?" signal from the planet, and he picked up on it.
She's his internet boo.
And he responded?
Yes.
Well, right there is breaking the Prime Directive.
He's already broken the Prime Directive. It's whether or not they're going to break it more is basically the conversation they're having now.
So would this be a good time for you guys to tell me what the Prime Directive is?
Sure.
If you'd like to know.
The Prime Directive is like, do you really want to know, or were you just saying that to me?
Well, start talking, I'll let you know.
What?
I said start talking, and if we're still talking in 20 minutes about it,
No, it won't be 20 minutes. I can do it fast.
I do.
Starfleet has a rule, and it's like their main big rule. That's why it's called the Prime Directive. It's like the golden rule, and the rule is that if a planet doesn't know about aliens yet,
other life forms,
right?
Yeah.
If
that's what I kind of gathered from their convo, but I just wanted to check in with
it's to prevent it's to prevent them from becoming like colonialists. They're not allowed to interfere or in any way make their existence known to species on planets that have not yet figured out by themselves that aliens exist. So there's they have to have warp drive is basically what it boils down to. If a planet doesn't have warp drive, then that means they don't know that there are aliens in the universe.
And when was this explained to the audience?
It's always been a thing on Star Trek from back in the Kirk days. There
are a few
Kirk broke it
episodes,
every week.
They broke it all of the time, and Kirk never even.
I think I missed
it.
I missed the inception of it, though.
There are pretty early episodes of original series where they talk about the Prime Directive.
Yeah, I think
Then they realized that 90% of the stories they were creating, in order to actually do anything, they had to break the Prime Directive, and they just kind of ignored it from that point on.
Okay.
And there have been episodes of this show that have dealt with it, but probably they happened before you started watching the episodes in advance.
I come in, it's the Gorn. That's when I come in.
Yeah. No, I mean they've done it on Next Generation too, but probably before you.
Do you remember the episode where Wesley was going to be put out to death because he stepped on the flowers?
Oh yeah.
All the hot people in white outfits. That was a Prime Directive episode. And that time they just decided, fuck it, we're breaking the Prime Directive. We're not going to let you kill this child.
Got it.
So now they're trying to decide, should we help these people, even though helping them would reveal that we exist, right? Even though the little girl already knows that they exist, but nobody else on the planet knows. Just the little girl knows.
Yeah, as far as I know, just the little girl. But who knows? They don't go too.
Yeah, how big of a blabby mouth she is. Well, if she told her.
Right. Well, don't they mind wipe her at the end so she doesn't remember anything that happened?
I believe that is. Yes, that sounds right. I was in and out of the end of this episode. I took a few naps here and there. So
yeah, me too.
I don't know. always remember how the
So
episodes
we have
end.
we have two people who kind of have seen it, and one person who's going off his memories from 25 years ago. Okay.
Sounds great.
Hey, we never claimed to be Star Trek experts on this show.
That's why we specifically do not say we're Star Trek episodes.
Yeah, we go out of our way to say that we're not. That's exactly right.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
It's Uncle Jake and Aunt May.
And I'm May.
Is your apartment still not on fire?
Yeah, it's still not on fire. Yes.
Excellent.
It was almost,
Glad to hear.
but it's not.
The apartment next door, not so lucky.
Oh God. That
There's
would.
definitely some smoke happening, and
Oh gosh.
some work had to be done.
Well, welcome to Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah, we watched these episodes.
Yup. And we stayed awake.
Yay.
That was foolish.
At your face.
You know, it occurs to me that saying you were not able to stay awake is not a rousing endorsement of this episode.
No, it is not. Oh, there we go. There is this. This is the first time he orders tea Earl Grey hot and actually drinks it. Because in the other episode where he did it, it turned into a plant.
Yeah.
That's right.
This time he actually gets the tea.
And he was totally like, plant, house, potted. Thank you.
What? The replicator was malfunctioning or
Yep.
something?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
No,
Have you guys talked about what you would order if you got to put an order into the replicator?
if I could order from the replicator,
Yeah. What would be your
yeah.
first thing?
I mean,
Chili
this is
cheese
sort of the what would your final meal on death row be question, kind of, you know,
Chili
Like
cheese
what-
fries.
You can approach it that way.
chili cheese fries. That's not a bad answer.
I'm just like, what do you
Both
have
of those, death row and replicator.
Probably like some sort of nice steak or something. I don't know.
Surf and turf, lobster and steak.
Fish and chips. I like a fish and chips.
Me too.
Ooh, good British fish and chips.
Can they replicate malt vinegar? Because I hate it when they forget that you need malt vinegar for fish and chips.
Mmm.
Depends on how good your replicator is, I think.
Mm.
You gotta put the patterning in special.
And how they feel about horses.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
it's like beef tartare. I like beef tartare quite a bit.
Yeah.
Some people don't like it because they don't like the idea of eating raw beef, but I think
Okay.
it's great.
So it's what I don't know if I've had it.
It's like, so there's like beef tartare and there's beef carpaccio, which are basically the same idea,
I've
but it's
had
like,
the thinner slices. I just
yeah,
beef
the thin
tartare.
slice with the cheese is
Yeah.
that's beef carpaccio.
okay.
Beef tartare is where they grind it up so it's like chunky and you spread it on like toast and stuff.
Oh,
It's more of a pate-ish kind of thing than
yeah.
a
Can we
a
just
slice.
recognize that doll is of nightmares?
Oh
And
my
I
god.
feel like it's a bit of a space Chucky situation.
Yeah. That orange
Well,
doll.
it looks like the little girl who has the doll.
And that's
Oh
part of the
my
problem.
God. I know. I'm
Now you
like,
could complain about what the little girl looks like.
I hear you
think the
already have.
doll is perfectly representative of what
I mean,
a little girl
her
would think a little
face-
baby would be like.
That
David
doll.
needs a haircut. His hair is kind
Yeah.
of long in the back.
They wanted it for this part so you could see it blow in the wind.
yeah. Kind of got a Nicolas Cage thing going on.
It's good. Need a little secondary motion there.
Does he not know that it's a little girl?
I think he does because it
I'm
was
saying-
clearly a little girl's voice.
It's like reverse catfished.
I thought maybe he thought he was
Oh,
talking to
no.
like a scientist or something.
All right, there she is.
Yeah, she looks a lot like that doll. I mean, he's not
That's what
wrong.
I'm saying.
So, how many of you would be like, "Oh, I went to too much trouble to save this"?
It's like they took
Everybody good with this?
the mask of the blue guy with the weaved harmonica
Yeah.
and just repurposed it.
Yeah, except they put like less effort into this. Like
We're saying we don't like this.
Erin's got a problem with the way this child looks. I think she's saying that it would have been okay
She
for
took
them to
like
let
one.
these people die because
Yeah,
they don't
she-
look good.
She took one look at the girl and like, okay, we should go.
Ass.
She was like, my personal prime directive.
directive.
Yeah, we'll.
My prime directive is that uggos do not.
Yep. We only save the hot ones.
Yeah, Erin's like,
It takes
Erin's
her
like,
hot and flying today from Erin, man.
Erin's like, well, do you have any cash or grass?
Because I'm not interested in the ass.
Oh god. Oh man, good times.
He's not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. He grabbed onto her.
Data's having a lot of feelings. He's
And
following
look what he
Jeff.
does next. He takes her where no child shall go before.
But takes her to the bridge.
Yeah, we know. Oh, he hates it when there's
No,
children.
Picard is not happy about it.
To be fair, maybe he knows in like 10 years she's gonna look like Nikki Cox. So
True.
wait it out.
He's
Like Twilight style. Just wait it out.
tagging
Just
him,
bury
putting
the baby when it's appropriate.
Oh
a
boy.
friend of ours once told me that's a tagger. You tag them and then you put them out into the wild until they turn 18.
Ugh.
Uh,
That's what they did in Twilight.
Oh, true. But they use what?
May
Imprint?
she marries the werewolf.
I have to go refresh my beverage. Try to not say anything horrible. God.
That's impossible.
I make no such promise.
yeah, this is our like prime opportunity.
This is our prime directive.
Why is that?
So Data's
thing
just
on my
been like,
fridge?
look at Deanna. She's like, oh shit. She's all.
Yeah.
Deanna's like, oh, this is awkward. I'm sitting right in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm getting all these emotions from all directions.
A lot of emotions.
He's got long pinky
He
fingers.
has. Oh, they have super long fingers. Look at that.
Guys, there's nothing redeeming here.
Deanna's like one of those people that's like, he goes into your house and you're like, oh, I'm great with dogs. It's like, no, my dog is really mean to people. It's like, no, but I'm great. And then the dog like barks at him and bites him anyway.
Right.
It's like, I told you. Like, Deanna just assumes that she's going to be great with every child that Data brings
Right.
on board.
Well, she is supposed to be like an expert at this shit.
Yeah.
This girl was not having it.
No.
So I want the pasty robot guy.
Yeah.
That's
Why does she only like Data?
Well, that was the first person to talk to her,
That's her friend.
so she's comfortable with her.
Zorg.
But does she not have other friends?
Guess not.
Not that
Because her
look
only
like
other
Data.
friend is that doll, and that doll's shady.
And she didn't even take the doll with her into the tunnels when her whole planet is about to blow up. So it must
Yeah,
not mean much
that's
to her.
good.
It's like, oh, look at this doll my parents got me because they think I'm a typical child. How little they understand. Only Data understands me.
Uh-huh.
Wesley's like, who's this bitch? I'm the only child allowed on the
Right?
bridge.
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
Thought to be on this goddamn ship for a year before he let me on the bridge, and this chick just gets to walk
Yeah.
right on.
Yep.
Put her in a proton torpedo. Send her back home.
Launch her into space.
Yeah. No, we'll send her back home. It's safe. Spock's done it before. Of course, he was kind of dead at the time.
I hope the sun doesn't
There's
blow.
still like 8 minutes left in this thing, you guys.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not a very, it's a pretty slow moving episode, right?
Yes. In comparison, definitely in comparison to the next one.
The next one's a blockbuster by
Yeah.
comparison.
It's quite the stare Riker was given right there.
Everything's all screwed up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gave this,
What
you
else
gave
has
this
been
a high
going on?
score for the charming points that
You
it
got
had.
any corrections corner, Matt?
I don't have corrections corner. Sorry. No corrections corner.
I've been missing corrections corner. I was
Well,
When I was listening to the last episode, I was like, we haven't done Corrections Corner, and I can't even remember the last time. But I understand it's work for you.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
I do appreciate that you do them at all. I'm not saying that I'm going to start doing it or anything.
It's not actually a lot of work. I just didn't do it. I'll tell you why didn't do it. I got a PlayStation 4. I know the PlayStation 5 just came out, so I'm still a generation behind, but I did get a PlayStation 4. So I've been playing a lot of video games the last couple of weeks since I got this thing. Pretty much all I've been doing, actually.
New games? Or
well, new to me. Yeah. I've never played them before.
Sure.
But I don't buy video games unless they're like, unless they've been out for a while and are only like $15 or whatever.
Yeah, it's the way to do it. What did you get?
I started playing I started playing the Spider-Man game, which is really fun actually. Just swinging around with your webs is fun in that game. And then I was playing that game, and the woman who plays Aunt May, I was listening every time Peter was talking to Aunt May. I was like, I recognize that voice. So I looked it up, and it's my neighbor from across the street.
That's funny.
Yeah, who I knew was a voice actress, but I didn't know she had done that game. But she was the voice of Aunt May. The person
who always yells at you to get off her lawn.
No, we like each other. She's good. She's a good neighbor. She had a big old Biden sign out in front of her front yard. And she's an ally. Her name is Nancy, and she's
cool.
Great. We love Nancy. She's the voice of Aunt May. And then I started playing Mass Effect Andromeda. Jake, have you played Mass Effect Andromeda?
I have.
Okay. What did you think of Mass Effect Andromeda?
Good enough for what I paid for it. But
yeah, yeah. Because I just got it for like $12 or whatever it was, because it's been out for a while. You talk.
I was gonna say overall the characters and the storyline weren't up to par with the other games. There were some other things that they got right with the gameplay, I thought, but overall it was good enough.
There's an awful lot of driving, don't you think? There's a lot of driving around.
Once you unlock all the vehicle stuff, it becomes one of the funner parts to me, is driving around.
It took me a while to get into these new people because they weren't my old pals. But I'm invested enough now, mostly because I seem to have inadvertently chosen all of the snarky choices for my responses. So my guy is like really sarcastic, it's just funny. And it makes me laugh that they used that. Sarcastic was apparently a character choice that you could choose in this game. So he's pretty funny. So I like him well enough. It feels just enough like Mass Effect to like sort of scratch that Mass Effect itch. Even though there are so many things about it where I'm just like, oh, this is weird choices you guys have made with this game. But I'm still playing it, so I must not hate it.
Yeah, there's still enough new stuff and interesting twists.
Yeah, and the characters have grown on me. It took a while, but now I'm into the like doing the loyalty games the loyalty missions where you sort of get to know more about them, and I'm starting to like them more than I did at first. At first, I was like, "Who are these knockoffs of my beloved friends from Mass Effect?"
Yeah.
Scott Ryder is no Commander Shepard. I'll tell you that right now.
No.
Although he is gay and having a fling with the engineer, so that's fun.
No, that's good.
It's my favorite thing about those games is that you can have romances with people. It really makes me laugh. Like whenever I'm bored, I'm just like, I'm just gonna get down to engineering and flirt with Gil. See what he's up to these days.
Yeah. So does Data follow his heart a lot in the future episodes?
Does he what, Picard?
Does he follow his heart? Does he do these impulsive things because he like has gleanings of like emotions or something?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really.
All right. Sarjenko was special then.
Yeah, there's an episode coming up where he creates a daughter for himself. He builds a robot. He builds a version of himself, but he makes it like a young, not like a girl, but like a young woman robot. And he calls her his daughter. And that episode, trying to think of a way to talk about it without spoiling it. Well, you won't remember.
You can mind wipe me.
It has an ending where you would think that Data would have a lot of emotions, and he doesn't, because he's Data. He just goes back to work, and all the rest of the gang are all like, "Aren't you upset about this thing that happened?" And Data's just like, "I am not capable of feeling upset." You know,
Boy,
that's his deal.
Okay.
No emotions for Data.
Except when he does.
He never does. I mean, every once in a while you see him sort of like make a facial expression, but it's just, I think that's just because he's learned to imitate facial expressions.
So what's the reason for him saving Sarjenko then?
Well, he has these ethical programs in his brain that that he was built with that are supposed to make him always do the right thing. So he decided that the right thing to do was to disobey orders, right? But it was an emotional decision. He would not describe it, I think, as an emotional decision.
Okay.
He would describe it as like my ethical subroutine.
Yeah, it's a moral.
Yeah,
thing.
I made a moral decision, but it was not influenced by emotion, is what I suspect Data would say. He probably says it in the episode. You watched it. You should know what he says. You were asleep by then, weren't you?
I took a little siesta.
That's fine. I'm not judging. Maybe I'm judging a little.
Yeah.
Hey, we did more than you did.
I didn't watch
Pride.
I didn't watch it at all. I got better things to do. I got video games to play.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Video Game Corner.
That's cool.
I'm enjoying my place.
You got any recommendations?
Oh, one more thing I was going to say about the PlayStation was that because this Mass Effect Andromeda game, you guys, there's a lot of going places and finding things type missions, right? Where it's like you have to find 20 different kinds of plants. So you have to fly around all these different planets, and then you have to drive around. You have to find the plants, and that doesn't sound fun, right? But I kind of like those chore missions. I don't know why. There's something about them that I'm just like, I like checking things off lists.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of that kind of vibe where you're just like, I gotta get 3 more plants so I can scratch this thing off the list.
All right.
And it made me think of this game back in law school. I had a PlayStation 2, and I had a game that was based on CSI, like the TV show CSI. Mm-hmm. It was one of those really cheap knockoff games that they just crank out to take advantage of the IP
of a license.
Yeah, they had the license for CSI, so they made this kind of really lame game where all you really did was sort of look around rooms for clues, right? Because you were always trying to solve the murder or whatever, and it was super boring, but it was really relaxing to me to play when because I was stressed because of school, and it was there was something sort of comforting about playing this really lame game. Except one time I was playing the game, and my boyfriend at the time came in and sat down on the couch, and he sort of watched me play for about 5 minutes, and then he just looked at me and he was like, "Is this fun? Is this any fun?" And I had to be honest. I had to be like, actually, it's not fun at all. but I do it anyway. I can't explain it.
Love it.
Yeah, so my recommendation corner for this week is PlayStation 4s. They're pretty cool.
I have one if you want to play the jingle.
Play the jingle, Jake. Or whoever.
4.
This one comes with a caveat, but I watched Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Uh-huh.
So if
Yo.
you're a Kevin Smith fan, then I would recommend it. Because it's really him playing the hits. So if you like old Kevin Smith, I would recommend it. Pretty funny.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's a good
But
recommendation.
I don't know who is a Kevin Smith fan amongst the Warped crew. We never really talked about it. I love him, so I thought it was hilarious.
We like Dogma.
I've seen all his movies except for Clerks. I've even seen Clerks 2, but not Clerks. I've tried many times, but just gonna get through it.
I have seen most of his movies.
Same. I don't know.
I know
where-
that there are. I know that there are ones that I have not seen. I didn't
Well,
see the
if you haven't seen any of the weird ones he did later on, then yeah, that doesn't really. I'm talking about like the Jay and Silent Bob, like those
Chasing Amy.
Yeah, the Chasing Amy, Mallrats.
Mallrats.
I have seen the. I've
Yeah,
seen.
if you like those movies, that's what he's going
Chasing
towards.
Amy is probably the best movie he's.
That's
ever made.
his best. Yeah, easy.
Though people give it shit, but Jersey Girl, the George Carlin performance in that is pretty awesome. He gets all emotional and,
Sure.
fraternal.
But I still don't
Okay.
think that's a better movie than Chasing Amy.
I'm just saying, it's up there. Dogma, yeah, but Dogma was the one that when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, this blows my mind. Because I'm supposed to be Catholic.
That's yeah. But it's lots of references to that. Obviously, he got Ben Affleck to play his character from Chasing Amy. And
Yeah.
so, which was kind of a big deal. It's on Prime, so it's free.
Cool, man.
So,
Well, on that sort of fizzle of a note, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Please go to iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts to rate, review, and subscribe. You can follow us on Instagram at Warped the Podcast and get our merch at lunar_flare, FLAIR on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter at Warped Trek. You can follow me at Host Warped. You can follow Min, even though he doesn't deserve the credit because he wasn't on this episode, but he is at Wet Maynard to learn about our Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu podcasts and live streams. You can go to patreon.com/warped, become a subscriber for access to bonus material and additional content. I'm done.
Just to add on to that, this is kind of an anniversary episode for us.
It is?
It's 150th episode.
No.
So I want to ask all the listeners out there, let's push the show this week. Really go out there and 10 people that would listen to this show if you had told them about it. So do it and make this episode great again.
God damn it. Do it.
I know. I was like, this sounds like a pyramid scheme.
Yep, he's right. This is episode 150. Sean's right.
Yep.
Look at that.
So unless anybody has anything else they'd like to add, my name is Sean.
My name is Matt.
I'm Jake.
Erin.
And I'm May.
Good night, everybody.